What an amazing thing that you're all doing and that we are doing together. And I hope today I can give you some insight and just encouragement and let you know how much every single one of you matter in this conversation, that it is not one person, it is a collective voice, and that it's a voice that we are turning from this whisper into this conversation, into this roar together. So yeah! Wow.
Now, personally, starting off actually talking about what I was dealing with and what I was going through, there came a point where I realized I had an aha moment where, you know what, maybe this is what I need to do and this is what I need to actually say and speak up about it because nobody else really was. For you personally, I want to know, I'm sure we want to know, did you ever really have an aha moment that you were like, this is it and I should actually talk about this?
Yeah, definitely, Dexter. And for me, that was after my last Winter Olympics in Vancouver 2010, when I had the race of my life. I didn't win the Olympics, and I've won the Olympics, so I know what that feels like, but this was a bronze medal race. It could have been last place. It was how I dreamed of skating, and it ended up being a bronze for Canada that day. And I had been through a lot in the 20 years prior in my athletic journey. I'd been representing Canada on the international stage for 20 years, 2 different sports, 2 different seasons, at that point, 5 different Olympic Games. That was my 5th Games. And I had gone through a lot in that time, a lot of struggle, a lot of joy, a lot of major health issues that very few people knew about. And I had also seen my sister and my father deal with so many struggles with addictions and psychological illness issues. And my whole family situation, I come from a very dysfunctional family environment. And Canada and the media had painted this picture of me coming from this amazing place. And it all broke down for me after winning medals at my first Olympics, and I cracked right in half because I was broken inside, and I thought by winning something big, it was gonna fix me, and it was gonna make me complete, and make me feel like I wasn't this worthless, useless piece of nothing that I felt inside. And when I won those medals, I did not feel big and strong and beautiful and successful and worthy. I felt like less than I did before I won those medals because I had major problems inside that I wasn't dealing with. It took me many years to get help. And through the decades that followed that led to those Vancouver Games, when I got to the Vancouver Games and won that Olympic medal, and I had 10 minutes in my apartment to get my hair and my makeup ready for the award, and that medal hung around my neck, I called my dad in Winnipeg, and he didn't know who I was. I had 10 minutes, and I stood in my apartment alone, and I called my dad to tell him that I won another Olympic medal and that I had skated the best race of my life. My dad didn't know who I was, and he hung up on me. So when I tell you about an aha moment, it wasn't even that moment, Dexter. It was after the Games. It was after the Games when I walked through airports in Canada, when I walked in streets in Canada, and that time with bright red hair. People remember you after 6 Olympic medals. People kind of remember you after all those years. But what they would say is, I remembered you by your smile. I knew it was you as soon as you smiled. That's when I realized that I had to share the whole story, that I had to reveal the whole picture. And the moment I did, and the opportunity for me came with Bell Let's Talk. For you, it comes with Jack.org. It'll come in many ways, shapes, and forms. I realized, and I think you can all understand this, is that we connect through struggle. Yeah. The deepest human emotion that we experience more often than the other side of the emotional human condition spectrum of joy is struggle. And I think that's where we connect. And by sharing my story and my path, and I've been able to learn how to tell it and how to share it, and how to let others experience it, and in turn, share their own story, in turn, realize that they are not alone, has been the most important thing that I've ever done in my entire life.
Yeah.
I mean, you can relate, right?
I can completely relate.
Can you
I can
relate?
completely relate. We were talking about that just recently, and it's the stories. It's the stories of perseverance and strength, right? Yes. And for me, it's been a few. I can also relate to this particular extent where, I have talked a lot about what I've gone through, and it seems to a lot of other people that, I'm always all right and I'm always on the go, and I have to try and keep that particular persona up. Yep. And I have a feeling that others here can also relate to that, where you're seen as beacons of hope in your community, and you have to say, you know what, I'm still human. Yes, fair enough, I'm doing these things and I'm speaking up about what I'm dealing with, but I'm still a human being, and I still have a mind.
This matters on so many levels because we still don't understand on so many levels, which is why we are all here today, to realize that everybody has a story to tell, but also realize that every one of us, Dexter, is human. I regularly tell people that are asking me to do things that I am on, and if it is my reality, I have to tell them I am on the verge of a major breakdown. I cannot do this for you because I am cracking. I am getting help right now. I am doing what I need to get my health back, and I cannot do it alone, but I cannot help you because I cannot currently help myself. You have to realize that you can be that blatantly honest about this. I am on a regular basis, and you know what? It actually feels good because it also makes it real. It makes me not hide from what is going on inside like I did for so many years and thought that winning things like Olympic medals was going to make me better, and they never, ever did.
Well, talking about, I actually want to talk about Bellet's Talk Day. Now, you're obviously a great part of it. You're the focal point of it, I would say, if anything, spokesperson-wise. But it happens once a year. And I see so many tweets, so many Facebook posts, and it's been encouraging to me because each and every year more and more people, friends of mine, people that I never knew were also struggling, actually come out and say, you know what, I am actually dealing with stuff. So it's been great because of that. But I've kind of heard from most young people, like myself, there's a frustration that comes with the fact that, we only talk about mental health for that one day. And we don't really seem to be able to talk about it afterwards. What advice do you have for us here, these leaders, in continuing to push forward and actually to continue to talk about it every single day? Because there's only one day that anybody in Canada really thinks about it.
I disagree.
Oh.
This is another day, and yesterday was another day, and when you're in this, somebody asked me on the airplane yesterday, I live in Canmore, Alberta, so I came in from the Rocky Mountains, and the man beside me at the end of the flight said, so how many days a year do you spend on mental health? And I thought about it, I said, every single day. Every day I am talking to at least one person about this. And I think that we all need to accept and be so happy that this does not rely on one thing. This is not about one company's campaign. This is not about one person's story. This is not about one voice. It is a collective, and there is strength in the collective. And every single person has a role to play. And I think actions speak louder than words. I really believe in action. It's one thing to talk, it's another thing to do. Create your way, find your story, walk your path. Make it something that it has never been. Make it unique. Find out how to use your voice and let it sing. Every day is a chance to reach out. It's also a chance and an opportunity to listen. I think listening is something that we greatly undervalue. Sometimes we spend so much time talking, we forget to listen. And listening is the biggest gift that you can give to someone because you actually become their witness. You become the person that allows their voice to be heard. And you can look at that and you can feel a weight in that. And for a time, I would feel like I have to do something to help this person. because they've just shared something so intimate with me. My husband, Peter, who you've met,
Yes.
Dexter, he always tells me, he's like, Clara, get over yourself. They're not looking for you to fix them. They just wanted to be heard. And he would tell me, he's like, it's not about you. And I echo that to you. Realize that listening is a valuable, valuable role to be in, the listener. And don't ever, ever underestimate the power of it.
You're looking out right now to 200 bright lights, the leaders of today, not tomorrow, today, that are passionate, that are driven, that have purpose. What last words can you leave them with? Tough
Well,
one.
I'm looking right at you, Dexter, and
Oh.
I'm looking at everybody in this room. And honestly, just don't look at me. Don't look at me and think, that's what I'm going to do. Look at yourself and realize that you have a unique way of telling your story. And you don't need someone like me. Like, I came with this platform that I was able to stand on because of everything I did in sport, because of all those medals that I won. I am a unique story, and so are you. Realize that you don't need all those things hanging around your neck for your voice to be heard. Realize that you are strong and you are beautiful, and your story cannot be told by anybody else. The way that you listen is in a unique way as well. Realize that the strength you have in sharing and in learning and in listening and in being inspired lies in every single one of you. You matter. This matters. We cannot do this alone. Lift other people. Lift them up. Let their story be heard as well. Know when it's time to sit back and let another person speak. Know that this is important. It's as important as your own voice being heard. We need to support each other and lift each other up and let each other know that we are not alone. That is what you have the chance to do. All of you are so young. When I look at you, I think back to being an 18-year-old kid who just discovered the Olympics, a 23-year-old kid who went to her first games, a 39-year-old who finished her last games 4 years ago. All of you have this incredible, unique, and beautiful path and journey that you get to walk. Walk it with your head held high. And know that when it seems like nobody is listening, that maybe it doesn't matter anymore, that there is somebody out there, and I guarantee this to you, there is somebody out there that has heard. And if it's just one person, what you have done matters. So don't ever, ever, ever give up. That is all I have to say. So take that and make it your own.
My friends, Clara Hughes, I absolutely love you. Thank you.